Hi, Flutter devs. Have you ever needed to let your users select a date for an event, booking, or schedule in an app? The date picker widget makes this super simple. In this tutorial, I will show you how to implement a date picker widget in Flutter and handle user interactions seamlessly. Stick around to the end for tips to make your app stand out. Let's start with the basics. So to do that, I have on my screen here the void me method and my run app method. The run app method takes my app widget, which is a stateless widget, returns material app, and has home parameter, which takes the date picker example widget, which is a stateful widget. This date picker example returns a scaffold and it has the upper. Inside the scaffold, I'm going to be adding the body, and then I'm going to make use of the column widget. The column widget is going to take children, and while I'm making use of the column widget, I want to have a button on my screen here, and I want to have a test display above the button, so that when I pick a date with the button, the dates that I pick can be displayed on the test I have above the button. So to do so, we're simply going to make use of the test widget, which for now we're just going to add dates picked. Let's make use of our size box widget, and then I'm going to give it a height of 20 pixels. And let's add comma here and also add comma here. And then I'm going to add the elevated button, which is going to take unpressed and a child. So this child, I'm going to make use of the test widget again. Then I'm going to select date. So let's save this. And here, top left corner of my screen, I have the date picked test widget, and I have the button. What I'm going to do next is that let me style my test so that it can be bigger, and then let me position it at the center of my screen so that you can see it better. So to do that, I'm simply going to be wrapping this column with a center widget. And then in my column, I'm going to make use of the main axis alignment, and say main axis alignment dot center. And yeah, let's add style to this. So you can see style, test style, and font size of 40 pixels, and font weight dot push. Let's copy this and duplicate the same for the text we have for our button. So I just copy this and then paste it here. And font size for this is going to be, let's make it of 16, and font weight, let's make it font weight dot normal, and let's save this now. Yeah, I think it's better now. So the next thing we're going to be doing now is that this onPress property in our elevated button, we're going to be adding a function so that when we click on this, we can have our date picker widget pop up, and we can select a date and then update the value of this text, which is date picked. So to do that, the first thing we're going to do is that let's create a variable that we're going to store the value in. So to do that, we're just going to come here, and then we're going to give it we're going to make use of date time class, and then you can say selected and call it selected date, and it's going to be null for now. Let's make it private. Yeah, I'm going to create a function. The return type is void, and then we can call it select date. It's going to take build context, and then you can have show date picker widget. This is going to take context, and it's going to take first date and last date. The first date is going to be date, and then you're going to pass the date, the year you want to be your first year. So I'm going to make use of 2000. I'm going to explain this better when the widget pops up. And this one, I'm going to also have date, and let's make this 2026. Yeah, and let's add a semicolon here and comma here to format it. So after creating this function, I can simply come here, copy this function, and then I can come down here and I can make use of the function. So I can say this, let's add context to this, and let's save this. And if I click on the button now, you can see on my screen here I have the date picker widget. If I click on this now, you can see that the end date that we have here is 2026, and if we scroll up, you can see that my start date is 2000. So that's the essence of setting this first date and last date. So what we're going to be doing next is that we want to be able to select a date, then update the value on our screen. So what we're going to be doing is that we're going to be storing this inside a variable, and the variable is going to be final. It's going to be of this type. And then we can give it a name picked. Now we can stop this. Now if we should do this, we're going to get an error. And why are we getting an error? Because this show date picker is a value of type future date time. So what we're just going to do in order to remove this error is that we're going to make this a future. Then it's going to be void. Then we're going to add async here. And then we're going to make use of the await keyword. And then the error is gone. So the next thing we're going to do now is that since we already have the value of this store inside picked, then we need to update the value of this, which initially is none for now. So to do that, we're just going to come here, then we're going to write a condition statement. We're going to say if picked is not equals to null and picked is not equals to the selected date, then we can say the new value of selected date equals to picked. So I'm making use of single. Yeah, this should be double, not single. Yeah, equals to, yes. And because this is a stateful widget, we need to make use of our set state. And then we can put this inside our set state. We can remove this and add this inside our set state. And then let's copy this. And then we can make use of it here inside our test widget here. So we can have this as date picked to be this. But initial value of our selected date will always be none. I have a ternary operator here which says select date. If it's equals to null, then I want it to show no date selected, else show this. So what we've simply done here is that we are saying that if the selected date is null, which is the initial value, instead of showing null on our screen, we can have no date selected. Else, if I've picked a date for this, then show whatever date I've picked. So let's save this now, and then can have so initially now we're having no date selected. If I click on this now, and then I pick a date, I'm picking 3rd of January 2025, then if I click OK now, you can see I have on my screen date picked 2025-01, and this. So I can make use of some method here. I can say I just want to show the month or the weekday, the years. And then I'm going to add this a non-checker. Save this, and here I have the year. So you can play around with the method. You can play around with the method we have here. So that's how to work with your date picker widget. And that's it. We've successfully added a date picker widget. Whether it is for events, booking, or schedule, this widget is a must-have for user-friendly apps. If this tutorial helped you, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. See you in the next video. Thank you.